What's going on? I'm Dan, this is my shop. I'm gonna show you really quickly how to make these recessed finger drawer pulls so you don't have to use any hardware. You can see that this current build is an office cabinet, and while I don't mind hardware most of the time, I didn't want it in this case because I have a really small office, which you can see in a later video, and I didn't want anything sticking out from this. I also really liked the white oak aesthetic on kind of the drawer fronts, and I didn't want to break that up with hardware. So I looked online for some plans on how to make some finger pulls, and most of them use a bit that's about $100, in which you can really just route out that single finger pull. But that's really expensive for a one-time use option, and so I wanted to figure out a way to do that without having to worry about a single use bit. And I used my shaper to route out a 3" by 1" square. You don't need a shaper to do this. You could certainly use any kind of router with just a jig and route that out multiple times. My drawer fronts are 3/4 inch thick, so I went with a depth of about 5/8 inch thickness, just so you can keep that wood on the back side and it doesn't make this whole thing irrelevant. Because obviously you don't want to break up that white oak aesthetic. Then I already had around the shop a set of these Yoniko Cove bits. They're not amazing. They leave a little bit more burning than I'd like, but they are $18 for a set of 3 and do the trick just fine, because what you're really trying to do is just set it onto the bit so that it will make that groove for your fingers to rest so that they can pull this to make this whole thing work. The aesthetic's really good. It takes a little bit more cleaning, I think, with your sanding at the end, but obviously, as you can see, it works really well. So really what you need around your shop is a spiral upcut bit and some kind of cove bit like I showed you here, and then obviously some sandpaper for all those last minute details. There you go. You don't need to go out and buy that really expensive bit that only really has one use. You can maybe use some tools you already have around the shop to make these drawer pulls and still have this design aesthetic that might be desired in your cabinet build. I'm really excited about how this cabinet's coming out. If you're curious about how the whole thing is going to go together, I'm going to have a video out soon showing not only this, but also a desk and an overall office setup that I'm working on for the last 2 months. Thanks for watching.